about like fighting dopers ever since.
Using intimidation and a phony APN, they threaten us to make us feel unsafe on our own property so we have nothing we can do about it. The city, the CSLB, the LADBS, and the HCDLA do nothing about it because it's COVID and they don't give a shit, and even after the fact they just allow payoffs and pay-to-play fucking bullshit schemes in which our house is stolen from us through this process of intimidation and assault and physical harm by tractors and a gang of subcontractors. At some point, subtitles become a joke. Contractor without a license has no energize tagged to its stop order. Built with retaining wall with no engineering or permits or authorization. This was originally to compare the cracks that are just covered up with cement crack patch. Like I said, contractor without a license, illegally building retaining wall, not owner builder, trespassing without due process, stop energize, and stop order issued. Contractor has no employment insurance. Contractor is in bankruptcy and is illegally trespassing the property to attempt to flip it for rent skimming purposes to collect $5,000 a month off of their own parishioners from their church that they're going to use to scam our property to rent to. And if you want to understand the not owner builder part, when you give your property to your friend in your church so that he can hide it from the bankruptcy trustee, that doesn't make it owner builder, especially when your still intentions are to flip it and it is in writing in the court and you have made that very clear by your lawyer. Your plan is to fix and flip a property that is an Ellis Act constrained property that has REAP on its status until you had it illegally removed by your lawyer's brother, who is the REAP head inspector, Carlos Pelez, who also never comes to the property or inspects it with anyone, as they never breach the gate even. This is a complicit fraud by HCDLA, LADBS's Thomas Lagrasso, Michael Barella from HCDLA, Ron Kidwell, and the LAPD at this point, with the Church of Scientology's Richard Judson Williams of Resourceful Construction, Resourceful Development, which are both in bankruptcy and in judgment deficit to their employment insurance company, the state of California, for non-payment. And then using PPP loan money, they try to pay off the CSLB to get their contractor's license back, using the bankruptcy as a loophole, and then also using the bankruptcy loopholes to try to keep the property 2 doors over that they also acquired. There would be no way to acquire our property during bankruptcy on any means for them, or even to fix and flip it, because it's an Ellis Act constrained property, meaning it wouldn't have been for sale at all. There is no way they had any right to purchase the property. We would have had first right of purchase if there was still a standing with the bank, but the bank went and fucked themselves over by quitclaiming the property and not following the foreclosure proceedings, and being lender liabilities on their own fault by giving up to $7 million to Stephen William Snyder when they knew he was already bankrupt and he was doing it in mortgage fraud, as is the Shapiros are in mortgage fraud. So their lenders are both on both sides, Lending Home and Landsman Investment, involved in securities exchange fraud because they're complicit with their continuous actions of lending under situations that would have been underwriter denied. If you follow any of that, it means they committed mortgage fraud with their lenders' help. Not to mention that the loan next door, 2 houses over, is the same loan number as on our house, which means they're multi-pledging. And the next house they buy with the lender as their broker. So it's a continuous non-arm's length transaction, such as when Cheney acquired it through her father in a non-arm's length